Hilary Diane Rodham was born on 26 October 1947 at Edgewater Hospital in Chicago, Illinois. She was raised in a Methodist family who first lived in Chicago. When she was 3 years old, her family moved to the Chicago suburb of Park Ridge. Her father, Hugh Rodham, was of English and Welsh descent and founded a small but successful textile business. Her mother, Dorothy Howell, was a homemaker of Dutch, English, French-Canadian, from Quebec, Scottish, and Welsh descent. She grew up with two younger brothers, Hugh and Tony. Rodham excelled in academics and extracurricular activities at Park Ridge Public Schools, participating in scouting, sports, and student government. Although interested in the space race, she was informed by NASA that women were not eligible to become astronauts. At Mene South High School, she continued her academic and extracurricular success but faced gender discrimination. After transferring to the new Mene South High School, she graduated in the top 5% of her class in 1965. Rodham's parents, despite their traditional upbringing, believed in their daughter's potential and encouraged her pursuit of an independent career. Raised in a politically conservative home, she engaged in political activities from a young age, including canvassing after the 1960 election and volunteering for Barry Goldwater's campaign in 1964. Rodham's early political development was influenced by her high school history teacher, Paul Carlson, a fervent anti-communist, and Donald Jones, her Methodist youth minister, who was concerned with social justice. She met civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. in 1962 with Jones' youth group. Clinton later recognized the conflict between Carlson and Jones as a sign of the cultural and political divisions in America. In 1965, Rodham enrolled at Wellesley College, majoring in political science. Initially, she presided over the Wellesley Young Republicans, supporting moderate Republicans. However, her views on civil rights and the Vietnam War evolved during her early college years, describing herself as a mind conservative and a heart liberal in a letter to her youth minister. She sought change from within the political system, unlike radical factions of the 1960s. In her junior year, Rodham supported Democrat Eugene McCarthy's anti-war presidential campaign and became president of the Wellesley College Government Association until early 1969. Following King's assassination, she organized a student strike and worked to increase black representation at Wellesley. Some believed she could be the first female U.S. president. To explore her evolving political views, Rodham interned at the House Republican Conference and participated in the Wellesley in Washington program. Invited by Representative Charles Goodell, she aided Governor Rockefeller's Republican nomination campaign and attended the 1968 Republican National Convention. However, Nixon's campaign tactics and the convention's perceived racism led her to leave the Republican Party. For her senior thesis, she critiqued radical organizer Saul Alinsky under Professor Schechter. Years later, the White House restricted access to the thesis, sparking speculation, but it was eventually released. Hilary Rodham graduated from Wellesley College in 1969 with a political science degree and made history as the first student commencement speaker, receiving a 7-minute standing ovation. Her speech, critical of Senator Edward Brooke, garnered national attention, leading to features in Life magazine, appearances on television, and speaking engagements, including one at the League of Women Voters Convention in Washington, D.C. During the summer, she journeyed through Alaska, working odd jobs. Rodham then attended Yale Law School, serving on the Yale Review of Law and Social Action's editorial board and engaging in research on child development at the Yale Child Study Center. She also advocated for children's rights, volunteering at New Haven Legal Services and addressing child abuse cases at Yale New Haven Hospital. In 1970, she secured a grant to work with Marian Wright Edelman at the Washington Research Project, where she focused on migrant worker issues for Senator Walter Mondale's subcommittee. Her foray into political campaigning began with a position on Joseph Duffy's 1970 Connecticut U.S. Senate campaign, a role facilitated by political advisor Ann Wexler. In the spring of 1971, she began dating fellow law student Bill Clinton and interned at Truhaft, Walker and Bernstein, a firm known for supporting constitutional rights and radical causes, working on child custody cases. Clinton moved to live with her in California for the summer. They continued living together in New Haven when they returned to law school and campaigned for George McGovern in Texas the following summer. She received a Juris Doctor degree from Yale in 1973, staying an extra year to be with Clinton, who proposed marriage after graduation, but she declined, unsure about tying her future to his. Rodham spent a year at the Yale Child Study Center, where her first article, Children Under the Law, argued for a case-by-case assessment of children's competence. During this time, she also worked as a staff attorney for the Children's Defense Fund and consulted for the Carnegie Council on Children. In 1974, she served on the impeachment inquiry staff, advising the House Committee on the Judiciary during the Watergate scandal, which led to President Nixon's resignation. Rodham, viewed as having a bright political future, moved to Arkansas to be with Clinton, who was teaching law and running for U.S. House of Representatives, becoming a faculty member at the University of Arkansas School of Law. Rodham became the director of a legal aid clinic and co-founded the city's first rape crisis center. In 1975, Rodham married Bill Clinton and kept her maiden name to maintain professional independence and identity. Rodham worked on Jimmy Carter's presidential campaign, joined Roe's law firm, and co-founded Arkansas Advocates for Children and Families. President Carter appointed Rodham to the board of directors of the Legal Services Corporation, where she served as the first female chair. As Arkansas's First Lady, Rodham focused on healthcare and became the first female full partner at Roe's law firm. Rodham and Clinton had their first and only child, Chelsea, and faced controversies over cattle futures trading and the Whitewater Development Corporation. Hillary Clinton actively participated in her husband's political campaigns and advocated for education reform as Arkansas's First Lady. Clinton excelled in her legal career, being recognized as a top lawyer while managing her public role and facing criticism over potential conflicts of interest. Clinton was involved with various organizations, held corporate board positions, and advocated for social causes while navigating potential conflicts of interest.